Hey everybody, it's Scott Shetler and welcome to this week's episode of Strength and Health TV. This week I want to talk a little bit about two of the areas that I feel are neglected in training. That's specifically the neck and the grip. I often hear from people in the industry that training the neck is bad, you don't want to load the neck and twist or flex it or anything like that, but people have been training their necks for many, many years, particularly in the combative sports like wrestling. It's very popular. You see wrestlers doing all kinds of different neck bridges and exercises to strengthen their necks. And it's just an area that can be easily injured in wrestling and football, combative sports, contact sports. The neck is very vulnerable, so I think it's very important to train the neck. The grip is also something that's very important for almost any sport or athletic pursuit. If you look at wrestling and grappling, the grip's incredibly important. Most sports require you to hold onto an implement or swing a club or hold a ball or something like that. Grip is just really, really important. If you look at lifting sports, weightlifting, the snatch and the clean and jerk, you're holding onto a barbell, and powerlifting, the deadlift and the bench press. So grip is often overlooked and often very, very important. And you don't need to spend a lot of time training these two areas. Just a little bit of training can go a long way. Obviously, there are people that specialize in grip training and do amazing grip strength feats, which is awesome. But if you just want to strengthen your grip to help benefit your athletics, your sport performance, or just to enhance your lifting or just get an overall stronger grip, you don't need to dedicate a lot of time to it. So what I want to do today is show a few of my favorite neck training exercises and show a few of my favorite grip strength exercises. Typically with these, I'll implement them either at the end of a workout, at the end of one of my main workouts, or I'll do them periodically throughout the week. Whenever I get an extra 10 or 15 minutes, I might do them as an extra workout. They don't require a lot of time or a lot of equipment. It used to be back in the day you would see a lot of these four-way neck machines and dedicated equipment to training the neck, some different types of grip machines and things like that, but those have slowly made their way out of gyms because nobody likes to do them, and there's this misconception that training your neck is not good, and it's quite the contrary. So all you really need for a lot of these exercises is just a few different pieces of grip equipment, and for the neck, neck harness and a band will give you a lot of options as far as training and strengthening your neck. So what I'm going to do is show you some of my favorite neck exercises, show you some of my favorite grip exercises. Hopefully you get some inspiration from these and maybe want to incorporate them into your training plan. Like I said, just a little bit at the end of a heavy strength training workout, or you could do this as an extra workout throughout the week, and a little bit of work will go a long way in strengthening these two important areas. So I'm going to start out with some neck exercises first. And my favorite device is the neck harness that's made by Iron Mind. You can go to ironmind.com. It's their head strap fit for a Hercules. And that's this neck harness right here. It's very tough, it's very durable. One of my favorite guys in the strength training field, a guy named Steve Jeck, he's known for his stone lifting and throwing. I've seen him do amazing feats of neck strength where he used this head harness to lift up a stone that weighed over 200 pounds by his neck. It was absolutely amazing. So this is a very durable neck harness head strap. You buy one, you'll never have to replace it. So one great way to train the neck is to take a jump stretch band and attach it to a power rack, or I've got mine attached to my lat machine here, something that won't tip over. And basically you can train the neck in all four planes. Put on your neck harness, get some tension in the band, and you can do some neck extensions. You can turn around and do some neck flexion. So you're getting the front of the neck. And then you can go to each side and do lateral flexion. So this is essentially duplicating a four-way neck machine. And one of the benefits to using the jump stretch bands is that the bands provide an active resistance and they're pulling against you. So you could really get a lot of benefit out of using elastic resistance to train the neck. I actually saw this one demonstrated by Louie Simmons from Westside Barbell, and it's a fantastic way to train the neck if you don't have access to a four-way neck machine. Another way to use the head harness is to attach it to heavy weights and do neck extensions or just neck lifts. And typically what I'll do is take a kettlebell, or a weight plate and just attach the neck harness to that. And then just put it on your head. And if you just want to do a neck lift, you keep your neck neutral and you just stand up with the weight, like so. Or you could do some neck extensions where you're actually extending your neck under the load. So this is another great way, especially when you're talking about adding progressively heavier resistance to training the neck. I would always start out with a weight that you can handle for about 15 to 20 reps and then build up your weight gradually from there. Typically necks are very, very weak and you don't want to jump into heavy weights right away. But I have lifted about 100 pounds just in a stable neck lift exercise on this. It's not a ton of weight. Like I said, I've seen Steve Jeck lift a over 200 pound stone. I think it was about 220 or 230 pounds with this harness. So you can build up some tremendous neck strength. I also remember reading about Paul Anderson, the great strongman, who he would take 100 or 140 pound dumbbells, attach them to his neck harness, and swing side to side like this. So that just shows that your neck is capable of some amazing feats of strength. So that's just one way that I like to use the neck harness. One last exercise that I want to show is a variation that I learned on a recent visit to Westside Barbell. I got to give Louie and his intern Flavio credit for this because they're the ones that showed it to me, and this is a fantastic neck drill. What you need is a light jump stretch band or an average jump stretch band, and then a light weight attached to your neck harness. And basically this exercise is going to work every aspect from the base of the skull all the way down to the tailbone. I did this maybe about 10 or 12 reps, and my back was lit up. It was amazing how much I felt this. And I only used about 15 pounds on the neck harness, and then I used a light jump stretch band. So what you're going to do first is put the band around your neck, and then stand on it like you're going to do a band good morning. And then from here, you want to put on your neck harness. And you want to use a plyo box or a table or a bench or something that's high enough to kind of lean against here. So what you're going to do is put your hands on the bench, stick your hips out like you're doing a deadlift, and you're going to start by dropping your chin all the way down to your chest. Then you're going to extend your neck, push through almost like you're doing a Hindu push-up, and get a big squeeze as you go into this extension. Then you're going to drop the chin, rotate the head back down until the chin is touching the chest, sit back into the movement, and then again go into a full extension by raising the neck, arching the back, and getting a big contraction in an extended position. Dropping the head, chin all the way down to the chest, then roll the head back up, pushing into that full extension. And again, it doesn't look like much, but I did about 10, 12, maybe 15 reps just for one set at the end of our training session, and I felt all the way from the base of my skull all the way down to my tailbone. It's a fantastic drill. Definitely something I'd recommend experimenting with to see what you think. So let's move on to some of my favorite grip variations. There's all kinds of ways to train your grip, and you don't need a lot of fancy grip equipment. I do have a few pieces of grip equipment that I got from Iron Mind. Again, it's great for the neck harness, it's great for various grip tools, and great for overall strongman type devices, and there's a ton of great info at ironmind.com. I definitely recommend checking it out if you haven't. Some of my favorite grip exercises just use dumbbells. Some use a couple special hand grip attachments I've gotten from Iron Mind, and then their captains of crush grippers are something I always like to work in my grip training as well. So I'm just going to demo a few of those exercises. Again, the basic one is with their captains of crush gripper or various heavy grippers that you can get. These are definitely not the tiny little plastic ones you get at your local sporting goods store, but you just simply squeeze the gripper, and I'll do these for repetitions, or sometimes I'll squeeze and just do a hold for as long as I can. I typically use these to finish out my grip training. I usually do 2, maybe 3 exercises of grip work at the end of a strength training session because I try to work various aspects of grip and forearm wrist strength as well. So the grippers are something that are very beneficial. They start very, very easy with, I think, like the trainers, or even some that are lighter than the trainer model, and then they go up in numbers all the way to 4, maybe even they've made something over 4. I don't know why, because not many people have closed the number 4 gripper, but these are a fantastic tool to include into your grip training. They only cost about 20 bucks a piece, so you could definitely get a couple of those to add to your grip training arsenal. Another thing that I like to do is I've got this bar it allows me to use an offset weight, and I like to do this for forearm pronation and supination. So you got the weighted end, and you just hold, further down the bar to get more to feel the weight more. You could also do this with like a sledgehammer or something that has an offset weight on it. The further away you get from the weight, the harder it's going to be. But I like to do these wrist pronations and supinations, which are really great for the forearm. So I'll do some of these, and then I'll also do some various other movements in different planes with the wrist, but this is something great that I like to add into my grip training. And then want to look at some of the grip tools that I have from Iron Mind. Two of my favorites are the Rolling Thunder, which is a very popular device. It's basically a revolving single-handed deadlift handle. And then the hub lift, which is one of my favorite. Using this device, you actually pinch the hub. It's meant to replicate the wide flange hub of the old York-style barbell plates. I use this in training up to lift a 45-pound plate by its hub, which was one of my favorite feats of grip strength, and this hub was fantastic for it because you've got a loading pin that you can attach with very little weights and then build up as you get stronger. So you just clip the devices to the loading pin, and then typically what I'll do is I'll lift these up for time and reps. So with the hub lift, I'll squeeze really tight, lift the weight up, and then hold it for a period of maybe 10 seconds or 20 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever. And then I might do multiple reps of that. But again, that's working more of kind of a pinching grip strength. And then with the Rolling Thunder, like I said, this is basically a revolving single arm deadlift handle. And no matter where you grip this, it will rotate to your weakest position, which is right between the thumb and the tips of the fingers. So with that one, I'll typically work up and hold for maybe about 5 to 10 seconds, and I'll use as much weight as I can. And some people have lifted some amazing weights with the Rolling Thunder. I haven't, but I'm working on it. And then one of my favorite final grip exercises is to just use a simple pair of hex dumbbells. I call these hex dumbbell holds. And what you do is just pinch around the head of the dumbbell, trying to get on the smooth sides of the heads of the dumbbell. You don't want to get where the numbers are because there's some indents and some rough spots that will improve your grip on the device. And you want to make sure you're holding on to the smooth parts so that you're challenging your grip more. So find the smooth parts of the hex dumbbell handle or the dumbbell head, and then we'll just pick them up and hold them. Might walk around with them a little bit, but we'll just hold these for time. Usually what I do is I have people shoot for 30 seconds. We'll usually start with either the 15s or maybe the 20s, and then we'll build up to the 25s, 30s, and so on. But we generally use 30 seconds as our target on those. Once we can do a couple of sets of 30 seconds, we'll increase the weight. So those are just some of my favorite neck training exercises and some of my favorite grip exercises. Like I said, you don't have to really worry too much about the programming of these. Just add 1 or 2 of each at the end of one of your heavy workouts, or use it during the week. Maybe on an off day, if you got about 15, 20 minutes or so to do some training, you can use them as some extra workouts as well. I prefer to train my grip more frequently and less volume on a daily basis. So typically I'll do 1 to 2 exercises, a day or maybe 5 days a week. Same with my neck. I try to do my neck about 4 or 5 days a week, but I'll just pick one exercise and kind of focus on that. One day I might do the 4-way neck exercise with the band. One day I might do some lifting with maybe a 25 or 35 pound plate or a 25 pound kettlebell or something like that. Just do some neck extensions. I do some modified bridges on a bench, or I might hold a stability ball and press my head into it for an isometric contraction and 4 planes. So there's a lot of things that you can do, just getting creative with the things that you already have in your gym. So hopefully this gave you some ideas on how to work these two, what I feel are very overlooked areas in most people's training plans. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week. So as always, stay strong, stay healthy. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below the video, and we'll see you later.